You know, John, one of the things that you said that I thought was so important was that we need to fight the terrorists there and not let them get a real foothold or stronghold in the Middle East by taking over Iraq. Otherwise, we'll be fighting them here in the United States on a regular basis.
There's no question that if we're not fighting them there, we'll be fighting them here. Who doesn't believe that if we walk out of Iraq prematurely, that the terrorists just won't follow us home? These people are intent on killing Americans in our allies. They're being raised and educated to believe that the only way to Allah is to kill Americans and impose Islamic law in the world. And they will stop at nothing. They're fanatical. And so we need to defeat this enemy for the future of our kids and grandkids, for the future of our country. And if we're not willing to draw the line in Iraq, where do we draw the line?
One more little thing I'd like to talk to you about, and that is the cost of government, taxes, and the economy, and how we ought to, as Republicans, make the positive changes once we get the majority to deal with those things.
Well, I think that Republicans have learned their lesson with some mistakes that have been made over the last several years, that it's time for us to stand up and act like Republicans. I went to Washington because I thought the government was too big, it spent too much, and was not being held accountable. And I spent the better part of my 17 years in Congress trying to do my part to protect people's wallets. And when we look at the big spending fight that we're going to have this fall with the Democrats, God bless them, they just can't help themselves. They're for higher taxes and bigger government. And that's not what I believe in, and I don't think most of our colleagues. And so I expect they'll send a big spending bill down to the White House. I expect the president will veto it. And we're going to have a national debate over just how much money does Washington need, how much do we need to get into the wallets of the American people? And I'm anxious for this conversation to start.
Well, let me just say one more thing on this area, and that is that the Republican Study Committee, which I co-founded, we came up with a figure of something like $392 billion in proposed taxes that they're talking about to take care of their programs over the next decade. And you're right on line, right on target, Mr. Leader, on how we deal with that problem. Let me just say one thing as the leader leaves. I really appreciate John Boehner, hopefully the next Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, for coming to Indianapolis to help me with my campaign. I love working with him. He's a great leader. And, John, thank you very, very much for being here.
My pleasure to be here, and good luck to you.
Thank you, buddy, very much.